Someone is so excited to see what unfolds next in your connection with this "you are my twin flame" energy. It feels like this is someone that you've had a deep and magnetic, magical connection with, something that may have sparked an awakening or an ascension journey within the two of you. Right from the start, you were feeling each other's energies. Might have been like a love at first sight, only it goes so much deeper than that. This is somebody that it feels like has looked up, has researched soulmates, twin flames, and all of that fits. This is somebody that feels like they are the luckiest person ever. They've hit the jackpot because they didn't just find love, but it's like, wow, this is so cool. This is like a deep spiritual connection with somebody. This has opened up like a whole new world of possibilities for them. This is the love that they have been seeking in a material sense, but it's also the adventure of a lifetime. This is something where this person almost looks at whatever's going to unfold between the two of you like you are heroes for others who may have settled for misery or loneliness or lower vibrational connections. This is somebody that is very excited to anchor this higher vibrational love experience into the 3D plane and to set an example for others that deeper connections, truer connections, healthy connections, high vibrational connections do exist in the here and now. This is somebody who is very eagerly doing their shadow work at this time. This is somebody that is charging forth in the direction of their shadow. Anytime there is a trigger that comes up and they feel a pause or they feel the need to kind of like pull back from you in this situation, this is somebody that is like, okay, what is this trying to tell me? What do I need to face at this point? Because they don't want to miss out on the opportunity with you. They see you as somebody who has done a lot of shadow work within yourself. Maybe you've been on an ascension journey or what you thought was like a twin flame journey, but you were dealing with like a catalyst, for example, or other types of soulmates up to this point in time. You've been on this journey for a while. This is not your first kind of rodeo with, soul connections. Over sort of the course of your life or during kind of the scope of time where you might have considered yourself to be awakened or, aligning with like a spiritual path, spiritual connections. And so this person looks to you as almost the more awakened of the two. And this is something, though, where they are not intimidated by that. That's something that's like, okay, good. So you know a little something about what is going on here. So they're looking at your energy as like a very grounded force, the harbor that they return to after they've set off on these adventures and these voyages of confronting their own shadows or times where they're kind of like pivoted away from you. They always seek you out. They don't just drift back to your light. They follow themselves, some connection within themselves back to you as like a home base. And this is somebody that feels like each time they go into some kind of hermit mode, some kind of cocoon within, something that is like they're having to peel back layers of themselves, rise into a higher version of themselves. It makes that connection between the two of you stronger. It makes it deeper. It makes it more profound. And this is something that they can't get enough of that. They're all in. They're fully on board with this. This experience with you in the here and now feels more right than anything that they have ever known as far as love is concerned. And this person does recognize there is a higher purpose to this connection. Yes, we are meant to be and we will be happy with one another in the 3D sense, romantically, physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, practically. But there is also a higher reason for this, something that aligns with like a purpose or a mission. So this is somebody that is looking at their life even at this point in time like, how is this going to unfold between the two of us? What are we going to create together? How are we going to uplift one another in our own personal pursuits in our lives to live very meaningfully, very mindfully, very consciously? This is somebody that is like cultivating a healthier version of them, healthier habits, healthier mindsets, a healthier energy, a healthier outlook. They're seeing things from that bird's eye perspective. And so much in their life, it feels like it's starting to make sense. So many relationships, they're seeing that as like the raw material. Past people, people that are in their lives currently, as soul contracts that they have come into to almost be an alchemist within. This is somebody that's activating that kind of like alchemist archetype within. This is somebody that is opening up the closets inside of themselves. They're dragging those skeletons out in the light of day, and they're doing something about it. They're looking those things in the eye. They are turning that pain or that heartbreak or that sense of loss or aspects within themselves that they might have previously determined to be like weaknesses or deficits. They're finding ways in order to repurpose that into strength, even strength in the form of like understanding of themselves, so that they come forth to you. Every step that they take closer to you, it is more equipped with self-awareness. This is somebody that has a lot of skills in that capacity. They got a can-do attitude as far as this twin flame experience, this twin flame journey, this twin flame mission. All of that aligns very much with this person's like mindset. It's resonating with them. It's very appealing to them. And it feels like it's something that's just an added bonus beyond kind of like, you mean I get to love you? You mean we get to have a relationship? We get to be happy with one another? We get to live this adventure of life together, hand in hand, and there's this other component to things that brings in elements of the sacred that they hadn't even thought were a possibility in connections prior to meeting you, prior to going upon this quest for understanding, a quest for answers that has brought them into alignment with a lot of the right information. This is somebody that is like learning a lot. They're researching a lot. They're observing a lot. They're actually doing the work. Where if you had kind of like catalyzed this person's awakening, like this might have been somebody who's kind of awakened, sort of aware, but you definitely activated something else on a deeper level within when you first come into contact with one another. This isn't going to be somebody that's like, okay, a decade from now, maybe I'll be up to speed and I'll be ready to meet up with you and we can anchor this higher vibrational love into the earth plane. No, this is somebody that is kind of like accelerating that. They're working overtime and being very proactive in order to look this experience in the face and seize the moment, seize the opportunity. They see that this is rare, that this is exceptional, that this is unique between the two of you. It hits home in a very profound way. It resonates with them very deeply. This might have been somebody that always believed in soulmates. They were always searching for their soulmate. They never found that before. And then you came along. And it was like, okay, I think this is my soulmate. But wait, here's this thing called a twin flame. What? What is that? And that has sparked something within them that is like, it's all kinds of yes. This is exactly what they were wanting, exactly what they're looking for. This is somebody that is consciously signing up for this experience with you. We also have our chemistry is so strong right now. So yeah, it feels like the intensity between the two of you is very obvious. It may be very obvious to other people who are around, like when the two of you are with one another in the physical world, there may be other people that sort of notice that high vibrational experience. Even people that aren't sensitive to energies or, don't know about soulmates, don't kind of believe in things like that, or if you're not at a stage in your connection yet where it's very like obviously a romance or people really know about that, or you're just very private people and so you're not like, into these sort of public displays of affection. Nevertheless, people around you, it's like it turns heads. There's a lot of attention upon that. There's a lot that this person has observed within the observations of other people, the way the energy within the room changes, the way the energy within themselves changes after even brief experiences with you, that lets this person know, yeah, this is a force between the two of us. This is something very profound. This goes far beyond just like sexual attraction or lust. This is something that is entirely next level. This is something that enters into that realm of the mystical, enters into that realm of the spiritual, And they are all on board with that. We also have mistakes or the soul's lessons. So if there has been like a period of time, which in twin flame connections, there's always that kind of like, you have that spark with one another. Then there's a period of time where, you're in your separate corners, kind of like doing your shadow work, addressing the wounds that have been triggered, going through that ascension in order to be able to connect back with one another, not in a toxic, hot, cold, push-pull dynamic, but something where it's almost like the intensity, like that chemistry between true twin flames, you soak that in enough, and then there is the need to go into your own energy and integrate that, to process that, to free yourselves from energetic blockages, karmic patterns, limitations within, so that you keep coming together with one another on these higher octaves, on these higher planes of reality, able to sustain that physical contact and the totality of the relationship more wholesomely, more authentically, more deeply, more passionately, because it is meant in true twin flame connections to anchor that higher frequency into the material plane. And so as prepared as either person may be or unprepared, there is always that period of time of needing to acclimate, energetically attune yourselves to that experience of something that is so high vibrational, that is being witnessed and participated in through the crude and rudimentary objects, which are the human bodies, the human vessels, the human energetic systems. This is like divine energy filtered all the way down into the density of the material plane. And so this person, in the times where there is that kind of like pullback, in the times where they have needed to recoil or they've stopped still and they've just been like taking it all in, sitting in the intensity, feeling just like, wow, this is next level. This is awe-inspiring. This is mind-blowing. This is almost like a psychedelic experience at times. In the midst of all of that, it feels like they come back with more certainty, more resolve. They are stronger, they are more empowered, they are more clarified within themselves. And so they're learning to go with the flow of that process. It feels like this person is making a very conscientious effort for any kind of like periods of sort of silence or distance between the two of you. They're checking in energetically. This is somebody that's like, if I can't handle the intensity of looking at you face to face, or, a lot of things have come up from my shadow and I'm needing to like feel those feelings and address those things. I needed to pull those skeletons out of my closet and tell them what's what. I'm going to make a point to project my energy out to you every night. Send that love to you from afar. Connect with you in meditation. Astral project myself to you. Make sure that I am following that very obvious current of energy between the two of us from wherever I am to wherever you are, so that you know I'm always with you. I'm on board with this on all levels. And it feels like this person's in the process of like discovering what those levels are inside of themselves. So you've anchored that in very beautifully. As you have led the way, it feels like for most of you maybe resonating as almost like the feminine, like the divine feminine in this. You have done that excellent job of paving the way, blazing that trail in the spiritual realm, that now this awakened masculine, this divine masculine, this counterpart, doesn't matter the gender, it's an energy. It's a polarity of energy that this person that you are dealing with holds most dominantly inside of themselves while they are activating that recessive energy within. In that case, that would be the feminine within, to integrate that within themselves totally. That it happens through that process of pullback, feeling the feelings, addressing the fears, being receptive to the connection between the two of you, asserting themselves towards you energetically in the times where they may be still or away in the physical realm. That this person, this divine masculine energy, is following your path that you have walked up to this point in time. They're following this emanation of you through whatever you've experienced, whatever you've gone through, the catalysts that you've dealt with, the false twin flames, the soulmates, the life lessons, everything that has brought you to this particular point in time where you've connected with this individual who can't get enough of this experience. They're excited, they're on board, they're eager. They're keeping up with you in their own way. This is something that it feels like keeps resonating with this person, like it's more and more aligned, it's more and more right. This is somebody that doesn't have to fight very hard to like master that ego. It's almost like their ego is cooperating with them. It's a sign for them inside that this is the right situation for them. Not just that you make sense in the practical world, but in terms of that like higher concept, high level soulmates, twin flame, divine counterpart, that rather than being very oppositional to that, dragging their heels, being kind of like pulled along as you evolve and they're pulled along. This is somebody that it's like as you move forward, they're addressing the limits within them that prohibit them from keeping in alignment with you in the actual material world. They're doing that work behind the scenes, still connecting with you energetically speaking. And every step forward that they take from you, either from this point or maybe you started to notice this recently, each point of reconnection, it's more consistent, it's more certain. And this isn't somebody that was breadcrumbing you before. This is like they are able to face you in their truth and stand beside you, stand in the intensity of this. For some, they're getting ready to like talk about this with you, twin flames, soulmates. They're getting ready to share with you what they have discovered about that. They're getting ready to showcase that integration of the feminine and masculine polarities within themselves that will be the evidence that you need that, yeah, this is the right person that you've aligned with. You finally found the one. The one has found you, or you have found one another. And so this is something where this person is like not getting discouraged by any of those kind of stumbling blocks. They're seeing it as part of the process because they've educated themselves. They've looked into this. They see that it's part of that process of calibrating with one another. You can only sustain that energy for so long before your human selves need to kind of clear away some of that outdated programming, some of those energetic blocks. Tend to things that align both of your own sort of individual purposes in these lifetimes closer with one another so you can have the culmination of that succinct shared mission, shared purpose, whatever will be birthed between the two of you as that sort of third and unified energy beyond what you've created and you're sustaining and you're maintaining in terms of the sovereignty within yourselves. We also have, can you feel me with you? Yeah, so that this is coming through in a question, like this person is like wanting to discuss that with you, that energetic experience. They feel you in dreams. They feel your energy around them. They feel your silent support through their process of facing their shadows, going through their ascension while also maintaining their stability in the material world. Or maybe this has called them to a point in their life where they're like, I need to make some changes in order to be living a reality that is a healthy and inviting environment internally and externally for this higher vibrational and divine love connection to truly take root and grow. And in the midst of anything that they are needing to do, needing to take care of, needing to address within, anytime they pull back in that hermit mode, they retreat within themselves. They feel you with them. They feel you as that guiding light. They feel that you have gone through things similar up to this point in time in your own journey and in your own way. And this is inspiring them to stay the course, to continue to reach for you energetically in the times where they can't be in your presence, or something in their instinct or intuition says this is time where we each need to be within ourselves. They're honoring that. They're going with the ebb and flow of what this powerful energy that is experienced between the two of you is dictating. This is not this person's fear that is determining a step back. This is almost like they're riding this wave, this current between the two of you. And there are times where that energy pulls you both together and they go with that. They come right up close. They open themselves. They experience the fullness of this. They allow you to experience them. And when they are pulled back by that wave, by that current, when they retract away, so there's time to integrate, so there's time to attune, so there's time to address the ways in which this shared exchanged energy between the two of you is meant to infuse the life that they're living, the lives of the people that they touch, with something that is holy, something that is high vibrational, something that is of the light in a way that people don't commonly understand that to be. When they are pulled back from this, when the signs, their instinct is telling them that this is the time to retreat, or the time to be still, or the time to hold their ground, that they are still experiencing the ripple of you from afar. They have felt this up close. They have felt this at a distance. This is somebody that is not doubting this. They are not denying this connection. They are very excited for what the future holds between the two of you. And so if you've been feeling this person's energy like very intensely from afar at this point, it feels like they're getting ready to like reach out with some sort of deeper communication, something that sort of like gives you evidence or shows you, even if they don't address it outright, but something that like makes it obvious, like, oh, they have been working on themselves in the period of silence. This is somebody who gets it. This is somebody who sees and experiences and is actively participating with me on this ascension journey in their own way, on this twin flame experience as it manifests for them. And they see you as somebody who has forged a path forward for the two of you already. You've done a lot of that heavy lifting long before you met them. You've been preparing for this moment to meet them for quite some time. They recognize that. They see that. They defer to you as like an energetic authority in that sense. And this is somebody, it feels like, who is gearing up at this point to kind of take charge in the material realm. Like you've led the way spiritually for the two of you to come to this point. Your energy activated something within them. So now they're in this process of being able to offer you something that is not just kind of like, okay, here's a stable offer in the here and now, but here's something that can link our lives together so that we are continuing to ride that wave of powerful, high vibrational energy, that twin flame energy, up and forward and on into whatever your lives together will look like. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.